Did was grab my little portable tool bag. It's a little canvas tool bag I've had forever. I actually got it as a shaving kit when we were doing church camps with youth all the time. But anyway, all I did was grab that. And here comes the line of questioning.
Where are you going there,
I
buddy?
I was just gonna.
What are you doing?
I was just gonna come and grab this.
Yeah.
Then I thought that looks dangerous. I'll just get the whole bag.
You still got stopped.
Some wires just hanging off the back of the boat.
Oh.
They're not being used anymore.
Right.
One was for the wind power that was on there at one time, and the other one was for the stern light, and we replaced the new stern light wire. Anyway, so I was just going to snip those closer to the boat.
Can we turn off all the power before you do that?
Well, no, because they're dead wires.
Do you have anything to test it? A little tester to make sure they're
I
dead?
do have a tester.
Let's do that first.
But they're dead wires.
Right.
And they're hanging loose. And I know the front and the back of them. And so I'm just going to snip them off and go from there. This
What would
is
happen if we
rubberized
just
handle,
checked it first?
Rubberized handle.
Yeah.
Well, it's not necessary. It's not necessary because they're dead wires. I'm just going to snip them. And then one at a time, so I won't do them both together, and just to tidy it up a little bit. That's all. That's all I'm sealed really well, and I don't want to break the seal.
What are you doing, Jim?
Well, I was going to steal this little screw hatch thing, these Bomar things that cost $1 million each.
23.
And I was going to steal it and move it back up here to a broken one, but then I remembered that this one was like the same type of situation. This here with just washers and a nut.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to see if we don't have all of these fixins, so I'll make my own for the broken one. There's nothing wrong with this at all.
Editing.
Editing?
Yes.
Are you having fun?
Well, no, it's a little sad because I'm this next episode's going to be all about Colleen.
Oh.
I know.
Colleen.
She's selling all her stuff and going to Hawaii.
Yes. She's packing a bag of tools because she's a diesel mechanic.
Yes.
A bag of clothes because she's a human being. And a surfboard because she's a surfer. What do I know? That's just what our diesel mechanic said.
Yeah, so wish her well. Yesterday was her last day.
Yep. She finished all of her mechanical work on board. She did a lot.
Yes.
New motor mounts, new tachometer, new fuel gauges for both fuel tanks. Disconnected our diesel heater.
Put in a new fuel line.
New fuel line filter and put in a new fuel
Rake
line.
Rake bar, and then the fuel line hose. That's what I'm working on right now.
You know. She's a good kid. We're
Yes.
lucky to have her.
You know, and Jim has always wanted to sail to Hawaii. I have never had a desire to sail to Hawaii. Now we have to sail to Hawaii.
There you go.
Okay. Well, good luck, Colleen.
Good luck, Colleen.
The only other things I think on the list are the tack, checking out that water pump leak, and then that fuel fill hose. It looks like that's on the list probably because it's the wrong type of hose. It's not an actual fuel hose on there. It's like a water heater hose, the one from the tank under the engine. So I'll have to figure out where exactly that runs to. It's like the vent for the tank. And see how much of a hassle that's going to be. But it seems like it's going back, comes up through here somewhere, so probably have to get down through there or something. I don't know how we'll do it. But
Yeah. I can't even figure out where that fuel tank is in the keel.
I didn't believe it.
You didn't believe that there was one
No,
there?
I stared at it and I told Luke there wasn't one, and then the other day I was looking when I was in there doing other stuff and I see it.
Oh
It's
my
in the
God.
front, glassed in. It doesn't look like a fuel tank. It's got fiberglass on top of it. The only reason you can tell is because there's what appear to be through holes on it, but that's the pickup and the vent for it.
Gotcha.
So I'm not sure if there's fuel in there or what the guy said when you guys bought the boat. if you
I
use
think
that tank.
There's fuel in both, and I think the manual lists that as the main.
Really?
And the other one as
Is
the
an
auxiliary.
auxiliary.
That's how I read it.
That makes sense. Normally the
was-
main will be center line, more weight.
That makes
so,
sense.
yeah. So if you are going to use that as your main tank, it definitely is a good idea to change that hose.
Okay.
Over time it'll just start putting black specks because it'll eat the inside of the liner
Sure.
of the hose. So
See, this is why we love Colleen.
yeah, I know some things, but not too much. I didn't know if the guy when he bought it, did he tell you anything weird about filling the tanks? Because I was talking to Zan about it, and there's a valve coming off of the fuel vent line right there. It's like a three-way valve, and I think we were like, never. It's really uncommon to see that, but I think the idea behind it was that the way the vent is right now is that if you overfill a tank, which you usually that's how you know the tank is full, it's gonna go on the side of your deck. And I think this guy installed this valve down here, and he probably had someone it's a two-person operation, if you do that. But I think they were opening the valve. It's down in front of the engine. It's pretty hard to get to anyway. They were probably opening that and then yelling up when it was full there instead of having it shoot up there. So I was planning on, I'll leave it in if you want. I mean, it seems like, normally the vents are overboard kind of, and this one is on the side of your cockpit. So it's going to just go, every time you fill up, you're going to have diesel shoot there. That's usually, when you're filling the tank, that's how you know.
Yeah.
So
Like
I
same
think,
with water tanks. I know it's full when it's shooting out the vent in the back.
yeah, so I think they installed this valve to keep from diesel
doing
doing it.
that.
It's not a big, or you could I could eliminate the valve and you could just put a Zorb under it every time you fill it or something, It just seemed very strange to me. I've never seen a valve in the vent line usually, but that's got to be the reason, because they were probably worried about it. So it's no harm to leave it in, if you wanted to start doing that or not.
Is there any logical reason to leave it in?
Other than you not wanting diesel shooting out there, nothing.
I know I don't really like the idea of a diesel valve inside the boat.
Yeah, that could leak or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I can go ahead and eliminate it. Yeah.
Since you're changing that line in.
No,
right?
yeah, that's what I was asking. So I'll go ahead and get
But
rid
I'll
of that.
keep the valve.
Yeah. You want it?
Is it just for fuel? Could
You
it
could
be
use it
used
for.
for
I
water?
don't even know what shape it's in, but probably could use it for
Okay.
anything. Yeah, usually if they're rated for fuel, they're definitely rated for water. So
If you
vice
could-
versa.
Gotcha.
If you throw the valve on deck, yeah, that'd be all right.
Yeah. Cool.
You know what what the owner's manual says?
What?
It says you need to know exactly how much fuel is missing in the tank.
Before you
so
fill it.
when you fill it up, just put that many gallons in because you don't want to fill it up to the top.
Which is crazy.
Is it?
You
I
know?
have no idea.
Like, how would you keep track?
Like, how would you know?
You would never know. Unless,
But there's
you
a
can know by
dipstick.
your gauge and start marking that. You have a fuel gauge?
I do.
Yeah, so you could just kind of, when it's filled, I don't know. I guess you could mark it when you and see how many gallons and have it shoot out once or twice and then you get used to it,
But the fuel gauge is up there.
I think you do. Do you have fuel gauge?
I didn't
would
think
hope
I had
so.
a fuel gauge. I would like a fuel gauge.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
They
Let me look.
They say use dipsticks. There are dipsticks on board.
Oh, they have a dipstick
Yeah.
instead of a gauge? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll look
Now-
at the tank.
That heater
Yeah.
was the fuel line went to a weird gauge
Yeah.
on the pedestal there.
Okay.
A weird gauge, but I took that line out and I just let the gauge sit.
Yeah.
So that was strange.
That's weird. Yeah, I noticed that went up there.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have
Anyway,
a
that's
gauge.
gone.
I'll look at it, but it could be that if they didn't put one in, I know that tank is like fiberglass in it, or glass, so
But
it might not be so straightforward to add one. Normally, if it's like a metal tank you can get to, it's just like a little float on a rod that goes in there.
Right,
And
exactly.
So,
Both tanks are fiberglassed in.
huh,
Correct.
weird. The other one's like up here on the side, I
Yeah.
saw it. Yeah, I think so.
And it's
So-
fiberglassed in?
I'll double check
Oh,
when I'm crawling around back there. I didn't look.
not important.
No, but alright, I'll take that valve out. Yeah, probably best to
Right,
eliminate
that makes
it anyway.
sense to you too.
Is that
right?
your recommendation?
I think take the valve out and then I would just buy a pack of those oil absorbs.
I've got them. I got
And
it
you just
back.
fold one up and put it under, it's right by the fill, one of those little vents. It's going to shoot out of there every time, so,
Okay.
and it's not
be
a
ready
big
for
deal. The only thing is, like, sometimes with temperature change and stuff, the diesel expands and will come out of there, which that was going to happen anyway, because you weren't going to leave that valve open,
Right.
so
right.
you're good.
Do we need to know where that vent is?
Oh, yeah, it's
We
right
do.
on this side.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
all right.
Oh, you're not going to be able to miss it once you start filling.
And if there's any way you can tell me which tank is main and which is auxiliary according to the
Okay, yeah, I can look.
gauges, I would love to know that.
I'm pretty sure the one in the middle is the main, but I'll confirm.
I'm pretty sure too, but I would
Yeah.
love for an expert to confirm it.
Alright, I'll take a look.
I love it when Colleen's here.
Me too.
All right, Colleen working in the engine room. She graciously allows me to film her.
So this is the old one. And
Okay.
this was just water hose, and that's why it's so
Oh,
like brittle. It
gotcha.
won't even bend anymore. Because it got, that diesel started breaking it down inside.
Okay, we will trash that.
And I'll take it out of there. no
Okay.
worries. But, yep, so running the new one.
All the way
In the bish.
down there. That's the
That's your fuel
main
tank.
fuel
Yeah.
tank.
So I'm trying to get it set up so I can just push it on there.
Okay. Crazy. It looks like some sort of access plate right there on top where
I
that
didn't know where.
hose is coming out.
Yeah, you said they have. They said to use a stick to check it, right?
Yep.
Do you know where they wanted you to do that?
Nope. I was
wondered
gonna.
if in front of here, maybe under the stairs, there was any access to it, maybe. But
Here's.
there's the stick, so it's in here.
I would
know
assume
I know what the valve is for now.
the stick.
They were using that for the stick.
The valve is the stick.
Because there was no, they must have been opening that valve and shoving it through the hole to check it. But it looks like, I took a picture, you might be able to get a fuel gauge in there instead. I don't know.
I would absolutely love a fuel gauge.
Yeah. So there's like, you can't actually see it. I'd use my flash to take a picture, but it looked like, see that? In between all the crud there,
Yeah.
that hex,
Yes.
that might just be a plug. And usually if it's the same kind of threads as a sender, we could put a sender in there maybe.
Ooh, nice.
So it's gonna be a fun one, but we might be able to, I'll start by just trying to clean it up so we can see what that actually is. It could have
Yeah.
been an old, they used to have these old ones where the gauge was on the tank,
Right.
Yeah, so it could have been one of those that just broke or something like that.
I mean, and that would be acceptable, but I would much rather.
Yeah.
Well, I
alright.
would love to read it on my phone, but
Oh, yeah.
I'll take a, a less techie one.
No, I mean, we would run one to the helm for sure
Yeah.
for you. Or anywhere, wherever you would want it.
The helm would be the place to go.
Alright,
Yeah,
well, I'll
that
hold
would be
off
awesome.
on connecting this for right now, because that's just going to get in my way. But
Okay, so
let
don't
me
run the fuel. Now, how do you know which is main and which is aux?
well,
How?
I just looked in the back of this. So the arrow pointing usually means, and then I chase the lines.
And the line goes down to the main?
Yeah, it seems like it.
Okay.
I'm pretty positive on that one.
Now, there's a stick up in the propane locker that I put in the fill of the auxiliary tank over here, and
Oh, you think-
I'm able to
With that?
check the level
Oh,
of
okay.
that tank doing that. So, I mean, a gauge over there would be wonderful too, but that's
The auxiliary
we can-
tank is right here.
yeah. The one aft is water,
Okay.
and it says 125 gallons of water
Yeah.
in the manual. That looks generous to me.
This is, yeah.
Does that look like 125 gallons
Well,
to
it
you?
looks like it's two separate tanks.
It's like 3. Yeah. There are.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably like,
There's a Y valve on the fill.
yeah, that's probably like 340 gallon tank.
Okay.
Or something. I don't know.
That would
Well,
do
it
it.
has the baffle in it, so you don't know. I don't know. Oh,
Yeah.
so
What's the baffle for?
that's to keep water from like sloshing around too much.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, they don't really need it on that purpose, but on a smaller boat you would notice, you know.
Right. Yeah, it's 13 tons. You're not going
Yeah,
to
you're not
affect
really
it
moving
much.
this thing with some water. Alright, let's see.
Okay.
There's a plate that goes on there.
Yeah, I saw that.
That might... see that. There's so much stuff down there.
I know. One of my jobs is to clean that out, but I haven't gotten to it yet. You probably didn't notice, but I did try and come and clean up a little of the grease.
So, okay. It's old milk.
But that's okay.
Alright, so are you guys planning on doing any... Are you sailing this weekend?
We were planning on going out this week, but I
Okay.
mean, this takes precedence. I mean, this is more important.
Okay, because I'll just, I want to see if I can pull that off of there.
And
Alright.
if
Well,
we
I don't
could
wanna
get an
leave it.
engine gauge,
Yeah.
I mean that we would forego sailing in order to get an engine gauge,
Alright, sounds good.
a
Let's
fuel
see.
gauge.
I'm going to see about... I'm going to go get some big sockets and see if we can figure out, maybe look up to see what the exact thread pattern should be on that.
Okay.
But, 'cause they make different ones. Where's this boat made? Is this European or is it American?
I think it's
You
made
know?
in Florida.
Alright, cool.
We don't want to leave you on a sad note, so this is a video of where Ace walks our dog Blue over by the A dock and the marine office. And on this particular day, someone was racing remote controlled high-speed boats, and our dog found that extremely interesting and did her circus bear walk, trying to figure out what was going on.